Hello, my name is Victor Gall. I'm a psychologist who turned into a crypto trader, and I've created the AREXA system, which is a very efficient fractal geometric trading strategy. And now I'm going to talk about the pitch deck because I realized there's a couple of little stuff I would like to add to it and explain more in detail. I'm not just going to read it up. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to read what is, but I'm just going to add stuff to the slides so that you have a better understanding and scope of what we are aiming to achieve. Jumping into it, slide 1, as you can see, AREXA, the name stands for Artificial Exchange Analyst, because that is what we want to create, an AI which trades, simply put. Slide 2. What I would like to emphasize is that quite often people come to me and say, gains, profit 1.4 to 4.2% profit. That's impossible. You cannot do that. Well, actually we can, and we proved it time and time again. And not just me, but all the other traders in the AREXA group. Because as you know, the whole thing started with me teaching people how to trade, and by teaching people how to trade, I managed to really distill all the little, kinks and all the little subtleties of trading. I managed to explain it and put it down in a crystallized form into the AREXA strategy. So it not only works for me, but I can teach it to people, and those people, once they've learned it and understand it, they can just implement it for themselves and make profit. So this is a time-tested strategy, and this is what we aim to put into the neural network. So it's not just gonna be a bot, executing algorithms. It's gonna be a neural network based on my actual brain, so to speak, and that is our end goal, simply put. Slide 3. Once I have created the AREXA strategy, the problems were so obvious. They always tell you that when you're trading, you need to lock your emotions out of it. It needs to be purely logical, and that's absolutely true. As soon as you go into wishful thinking territory or FUD territory, you lose. That's all to it. Quite often the best long entry points are when a market looks the scariest. But if you use the strategy, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no need for emotions, which is kind of funny because, as a psychologist, I teach people how to feel. And when I teach crypto trading, I teach people how not to feel. So yeah, it's funny. And the other thing, which is really a problem for us, is, again, being human. Because even I can manage to trade for like 2 to 3 days in a row. You need to kind of lock onto the market and see how everything goes. You sleep, but you only sleep to not fall asleep. And after 2 to 3 days, you kind of get fatigue and you lose your focus, you lose your control, and it kind of stops making sense because it's really, really demanding to be able to see the fractal. So our solution, slide 4, is to put the strategy into the computer, into a neural network, which proactively trades the market. We don't buy into a market which is going up. We buy into a market when it's about to go up. So the strategy is focusing on probable, most likely entry points. And it doesn't always go right, but that's why we have a stop loss in place. As soon as you enter a trade, you put your stop losses. That's kind of the area where you say, if it goes under this, I immediately close the trade and I don't care what happens. You do not open a trade without knowing where the stop loss area is. So that's why it makes it so elegant, because it utilizes fractal geometric patterns. The whole market is a fractal geometric pattern. as in there are waves within waves within waves. So there's so many levels you look at, and you're not just using really simple indicators from the 20th century. We actually created new indicators, predictive indicators, and use those. So it's a very elegant and very intelligent way of looking at a market. And slide 5 shows you a list of the different agents, AIs in themselves, which we're going to integrate, because the core of the AREXA strategy is that we not only use one set of indicators, but we look at a market from seven different standpoints. Because if you use one set of indicators, based on one set of algorithms, you come to one conclusion. So therefore, we use different kind of algorithms which kind of gather the data and come to their conclusions in various different ways, so that we collide them, we combine them, and when the whole neural network, when all these separate 7 agents give you a good entry point, then probably it is a good entry point, because we're looking at the market from different perspectives, so to speak, on different levels again. So you really need to be there in your mind to understand it. Slide 6 is you have a nice view of what the predictive indicator platform will look like. It's very streamlined. It's not like what you have on TradingView, where it just shows you the price movement up to the present moment and then nothing. We managed to create a set of indicators which look into the future and show you the most likely outcome. Like you look at the DMAs, double exponential moving averages on top, they can be calculated. And what we look for is actually these DMA crosses, we call, when certain moving averages cross with other certain moving averages and they paint a nice cycle. And when they cross each other in the future, that's an indicator of what is going to happen. The same applies for the second set of indicators, the frequency, which again, the waves combined, and it's kind of a very interesting Fibonacci transformation you're looking at, the result of it. And if you combine them, you're gonna have a better understanding of the overall picture, and you will see where the super wave positions are. When all the waves are at the bottom, then it's quite likely the bottom. When all the waves reach the top, it's most likely the top, simply put. Slide 7, very simple, is just some of the trades we made, some of the most insane ones. I always use 10x leverage because that's my favorite leverage, but you can go further down. What you see here is, of course, 500 and 100 and 60% gains. Divide that by 10, okay? So if you see 60% here on this slide, it means the market went up 6%. So it's still a very good ratio. When the bull market starts, I expect these kind of percentages, not what I said, what I claimed in 1.4, 4.2. Those are for like just trending market, simple market. In the bull run, this is the percentages you're gonna get. Slide 8 is a very important slide. We really emphasize transparency in our development process. So instead of just saying, hey, give us $2.5 million and we're gonna give you the AI, we decided to divide it into separate phases, so that as development goes on, you see where we are and you can see what we've achieved so far. Phase 1, which costs $200,000, and we kind of almost secured that money. The phase 1 is gonna give you the predictive indicator platform. Those are gonna be the senses of AREXA, okay? The 7 agents I told you about, through which AREXA gathers the information on which it will base its decisions. And by creating this indicator set and giving it to the traders, they're gonna get a high-end, high-tech device with which they can just trade the market by themselves. So with these indicators, with the AREXA strategy, after phase one, as a trader, you're gonna be able to trade very easily once you understood the strategy. I'm not saying everybody will be able to understand it because it requires some brains, but it's quite self-explanatory if you're willing to put your time and effort into it. Phase two is the basic AI, which is gonna tell you in alerts, like email alerts or text messages, where the most likely bottom areas and top areas are in the market. If you have been trading, you know this when you've been sitting in front of your computer. I always tell people that trading is like hunting or fishing. You sit there for 3 hours, nothing happens, and then after like 3 hours, all of a sudden, bang, here's a nice entry point, and you need to act immediately. So phase two is addressing that issue. You're instead of sitting at your computer, you can just go out, have a nice tea, play with the kids, whatever. You get a message, AREXA tells you, here's a really nice entry point incoming. So you go up, sit down at your computer, focus on it for half an hour, you find a good entry point, AREXA tells you where the stop loss area is, of course she calculates it, and then you can open the position and go do your thing. And then AREXA again, 2 or 3 hours later, tells you, oh, a nice entry point, or nice, here's the top, and here's a nice entry point for shorting a market. You go up, do your thing again, that's it, rinse and repeat. This will, because this is an AI, will cost a bit more, but nothing compared to phase three. Phase three is the AI itself. And the reason why it costs $2 million is because we're going to have to do a lot of iterations in developing the neural network. Okay, we're going to have to train the neural network on the predictive indicators, and that means a lot of computing power. We're going to have to, rent out a huge supercomputer and just run the iterations as fast as possible. We could do it on our home computer, but then we're going to be sitting here for 2 years at least. We need to speed up the process, and that, of course, costs money. Slide 9. What do I have to add? Basically, it just outlines how AREXA is going to get built up, and what the reason why this is important is because AREXA also going to include the smart contract, meaning that if you own the AREXA AI coin, the AREXA AI, you're a holder of it, as the system works and users, subscribers use the platform and generate profit with it for themselves, the AREXA coin holders are going to get 10% of all profit made and 100% of all subscription fees which come in from phase one and phase two. Going back actually to slide 8, another reason why we divided it into phases is that we have a minimal viable product after the end of phase one, and we can generate income with that even. It's a very strong device, application. If you compare it to TradingView, which has 40 million users, AREXA sees into the future. TradingView doesn't look into the future. It gives you what is and then nothing. We are able to give you a very good estimation of what is going to happen. So, the AREXA AI coin I would like to talk about. Basically, this is the core of our project. Whenever somebody subscribes to use the platform or the alert system, or somebody wants to use the AREXA AI itself, through our smart contract mechanisms, all that money generated by the income, generated by the subscriptions goes into a central pool, and 10% of the profit made by the AREXA AI for all the users goes into a central pool, okay? And that central pool, the money in the central pool at the end of every month is going to get divided amongst the AREXA AI token holders. So if you own 2% of the overall pool, you get 2% of the income generated by AREXA. Slide 11 is the market, and I'm not looking at the overall crypto market cap because that's misleading. I'm looking at the user base of TradingView, and in 2023 it was nearing 40 million users. Okay, 40 million people subscribed to TradingView. So if we get only 0.1% of that amount, we get 40,000 users for our platform. Okay, and if we manage to get there, it's very, very pessimistic that the market cap of AREXA does a 50x, which would put our market cap at $175 million, meaning that if you bought AREXA tokens for $100, you can multiply that by 50, meaning they will be worth $5,000. You made 50. You made a 50x return on your original investment, besides the AREXA AI token generating income for you as well. I think it's a very nice investment, so to speak. Slide 12 explains our estimation of the probable income, and it's kind of a pessimistic income once people start using AREXA. Phase 1, phase 2 is tier 1, tier 2. Look at the bottom. If we get 5,000 users using the alert system, that means a $5 million income per month, which is a very, very nice number, even though it's a very pessimistic estimation. And if all the users of the AI use AREXA, and let's say we get $10 million profit per month, it means that 10% of that, meaning $1 million, goes into the central pool and it gets divided amongst the AREXA AI holders. So if just here it is, you can do your own math calculations. It's pretty straightforward. All the income from the subscriptions go into the central pool, and 10% of all profit generated by AREXA AI goes into the central pool and is going to get divided amongst the AREXA AI holders. That's it. The rest of the slides are kind of pretty self-explanatory. We compared it to other platforms online, and some of them are okay, but based entirely on numbers and statistics, and so it's really hard to understand, really hard to use. Whereas AREXA is very, very nice and colorful and streamlined, because as a psychologist, I kind of it was very important for me to make it visual and make people understand these very, very difficult fractal geometric concepts of cycles within cycles. So that's why everything got color coded, so that your brain can digest the information much, much easier. And then there are other platforms which look easy to use, but actually are not generating profit at all. But there's that, it's self-explanatory. Slide 14 is our roadmap. Milestone 1 is already done, checked. What I would like to add to it is that whatever we promised so far, we delivered. And whenever people give us feedback on, like, why didn't you make a little promo video? We did exactly that. And whenever somebody said, why don't we get our smart contract audited? Even though I knew we didn't need the audit, because András is like a master architect. He's the one who designed the smart contract. We did the audit. It came back with, with 0 vulnerabilities, but because people asked us to do it, we did the audit. And this is how I like to work. I'm really, really keen on taking feedback on board and work with that, because I believe, shared knowledge. I'm not a superhero. I'm not, even though I'm smart, I make mistakes. So I thrive on the feedback people give to us, and we implement everything and we integrate everything. So we're right now working on milestone 2, which is the predictive indicator platform, and I don't want to give dates, but most likely September. Not exact date, most likely September. András is a very good architect, as I said, and he's very, very good with his team. So far they've delivered every deadline we set. But as you know, predictive indicators, it's quite a huge task. So far, I've been using indicators in TradingView, modified really badly, really harshly, but not predictive. So they're doing it. That's it. That's what I wanted to add. And milestone 3 is gonna be the alert system. By the end of the year, most likely. And by then, we really want to get this done because according to my calculations, the bull run starts in September 2024. So I really, really want to have the predictive platform done by then so that people can start using it, and then the alert system done by December so that people can start using it and see that it works. And once we have that, I think we managed to build enough trust and confidence in people so that we're going to get the funding for milestone 4, which is the AREXA AI, which commences in the beginning of 2025, when the bull market goes full blown and you can generate insane returns. So there's that. 2 more slides. Our team, transparency. We are here. We're doxed. We don't want to hide. This is who we are. This is my team. As a psychologist, I did a lot of organization development. So when I pick my people, I know who I'm picking, and I'm confident that they are the real deal, and they're the ones who are gonna be able to organize this huge task and deliver. And yeah, last slide is just info and links for you. So connect with us on TradingView or on Telegram or on X. We're setting up Discord. That's gonna be operational soon, but mainly on Telegram. Okay, that's the core group. That's the most ancient AREXA group. It started out like 3 years ago with just me and a couple of other traders, and then we built up from there. That's where most announcements and trading tips are shared. But X is also Twitter. I like saying Twitter, sorry. So Twitter is also sharing a lot of information on the AREXA. And yeah, so just join us, and you're welcome on board. Welcome to ask any questions. We're here for you. We're here to answer if you have any more insights or if you have any more questions. We're just super excited to be making this and turning it into a reality. And it would be great if more and more people would join. So yeah, thanks for your attention, and see you.
AREXA AI. See the future.